Yo, 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 what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone messiah, Phillip. I'm joined by Marlee and Brandon. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
It be going. It do be going.
It do be going. We were here to talk Clash at the Castle 2024. It is in the books, couple days removed. Had some time to think and sit with the decisions. Guys, overall thoughts of the show before we get into the nitty gritty. Marlee.
I thought it was pretty good. I had to rewatch it because we were setting up the ring while I had it on, so I rewatched it, and the second watch was way better. I think it went pretty smoothly compared to 2022.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
they
yes.
they both weren't bad, but this one was a little bit better.
Right. Marlee and I watched a little bit of it while we were eating burritos on Saturday morning. Good
Yeah,
times.
that taco truck, man.
Those burritos were hitting. Yes. Brandon, what were your thoughts on the cash at the castle? Cash.
I thought the
Cash money.
show
Yep.
overall was a decent show. In-ring work was, I thought, pretty good. Finishes had a little bit to be desired, which I know we'll talk about.
Yeah.
It happened, right? It happened. Let's talk. So first, we start off with the I Quit match. AJ Styles takes on Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE title.
And
They went about an hour,
Or 27 minutes and 45 seconds.
or so I heard.
Longest
it
match
felt
on the
like an
show by a good margin.
It felt
felt
like an
like an
hour.
hour.
It felt like an hour. That's yeah, it felt like an hour. Yeah, the match ends with AJ Styles quitting when Cody was about to, decimate him with the ring steps. AJ quits. Cody does it anyway. Um, yeah, AJ fucking going for the phenomenal forearm, getting sabued with the chair, then falling through the table. You've seen the animations with the sonic rings and the cartoon sounds. All good funny stuff. Mama Rhodes slapping AJ Styles. What are your thoughts on the match before we get into the aftermath of what happened? Brandon.
Oh, I mean, like I said, I think the work was good. Neither one, or I guess AJ obviously has the established finishing move. But Cody doesn't have a submission that you really believe, except for like the figure four that he kind of used occasionally. So they kind of stayed away from like submissions and things like that, and they worked much more on, the physicality, brutality. They went through the area or the crowd, and they went backstage and stuff, and that stuff was okay. It was a little awkward because like the gorilla position was like so tiny that they could barely even like move around. But yeah, I thought the work was good. The crowd, I was a little scared because at the beginning they were doing like the sing-songy stuff that France was doing, and I didn't think it worked as well, and I thought it was going to be a theme throughout the entire show. Luckily, it was not. I thought the Scottish crowd was pretty good. And the finish, I thought, yeah, no, I think it was a little weird of like, I get he's a heel, but like just cowering in the corner saying I quit. I would have rather like the spot before where he had him handcuffed and he was like beating the piss out of him with, I forget if it was a chair or a Singapore cane. Like I would have much rather like that been the spot where he quit. But
So I heard Sam Roberts say this, and he kind of like wanted AJ Styles' new gimmick to be like he learns from wrestlers of the past. Obviously, did the fake retirement like Mark Henry, and then pull a Rock '99 where you have the recording of Cody saying "I quit," and then like that's how he wins the championship or something like that. I thought that would have been funny or interesting. And then there was this idea floating around that like the bell rings and AJ's like, Cody, what kind of match is this? And Cody says, I quit, but then Cody would be looked at as a stupid baby face for doing something like that. I just other little creative things that were thrown around, but yeah, I think it worked out fine for what happened. Marlee, thoughts on the match?
Yeah, outside of the finish, because it would have been better if Cody had him in some sort of submission or was like legit beating him to a pulp. And then AJ said I quit. That would make a little bit more sense. But overall, I had no complaints with the match. Cody's a good performer. AJ's a good performer. They showed out. And I think they show out not just Cody and AJ, but I noticed that everybody shows out more when they're out of the country versus when they're doing like a American pay-per-view.
It's something about the overseas, man. You just you feel that different energy. Cody was crowd surfing, this weekend, so you love it. I think that's the first crowd to do that. So kudos to Scotland. After the match,
well, CM Punk tried to crowd surf in Chicago
And
or
he
whatever. That didn't work out so well.
uh,
yeah,
wasn't
it
that
didn't work out
AEW?
for his foot.
That was an AEW.
Yeah,
I think it's past you, Philip.
but
Yeah.
it didn't work out for his foot. We learned that.
If he were to crowd surf in WWE, it would work out just fine. Guaranteed. Anyway, Solo Sikoa shows up besides Cody Rhodes, and then the rest of the bloodline come out there, and then Randy Orton. I love how he's in full gear, and Kevin Owens. They come out there, blah blah blah, save Cody, and then Randy was looking at that championship.
You know what I noticed? I know we're gonna get to Raw on a later episode, but they kept dropping hints to Legacy. So if we get those callbacks to Legacy, let me just say,
It
it's over.
it
It's
sucks that
over.
Ted Jr.'s in the hot water because it would be nice for him to pop up for an episode or two. Can we get Manu? Can we get Alpha Jr. to pop up, man? Can we get that callback at least? I'd approve of that. And then he just attacks he attacks Cody because he's with the bloodline. Oh, it all makes sense. I love it. I love it. Good stuff. Moving on. What was the second match of the show, Brandon?
That would be the triple threat tag team match for the tag titles with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending against Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and the hometown heroes of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, which apparently their name is the Unholy Union, as it says here on Wikipedia, but I never hear them get mentioned by that name. But anyways, they win 12 minutes, 10 seconds, surprisingly, as Alba Fire pins Shayna Baszler, I think. And they get the win. Alba Fire, unfortunately, lost her mom. I don't know how recently it was, but it was relatively recently.
It
And
was
so,
in it was in May.
so it seemed, I don't know. So they won. No other of the Scottish challengers won their title match. So maybe this was a make good for them, for that Scottish fan base. But I thought the match was okay. I did like how they actually did the triple threat, three people in the ring at one time, because I always hate it when they do the multi-team tag matches and it's two people and you have to awkwardly find ways to tag someone who's not on your team. So I did enjoy that part. I think the ending, I think it's looked more like at how Jade is performing because she slipped over the top rope and the
Well,
ropes were an issue this show.
yeah.
But then I feel as though she kind of like rushed through like the ending and she was, I don't know if it was blown up or just a little shaken a little bit. It just kind of seemed like Jade was a little off her game after that missed springboard.
Yeah, no, she's gonna get the heat. Like, oh, she's not ready. Stop. The ropes were loose. Normally WWE would send out their crew to kind of tighten those up real quick. Don't know why that didn't happen. I've kind of noticed like at the past couple of WWE events I've been to, like normally like they'll change the mats and stuff during a commercial break. Haven't really seen that a lot anymore. Don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, the ropes were loose. Everybody calm down. You guys have never done a springboard, so don't go criticizing. I'd
Yeah,
pay
let's
I'd
hear
pay I'd pay big money to see these people on the internet talking this trash do like a forward roll. The
not a
basic of
full.
the basic of the progressions.
They
But
take one bump, they'll shut up.
right, man, Jesus. Take a high school boy bump.
Oof.
Brandy, you want to take a high school boy bump?
I'm okay.
Why not? You want to take a face bump?
I'm okay.
That's easy.
I'll just sit here behind my little computer and make fun of, this woman who is uberly athletic and looks fantastic while I, make fun of her for missing a springboard.
Marley, tell them how easy a face bump is.
Just gotta put your elbows, put your arms straight. Just make sure your forearms break your fall.
Yeah, no, my elbows are not working. A lot of almost thought my triceps were gonna detach yesterday. A lot of push-ups, a lot of push-ups. But yeah, I mean, like you have to look at like people be like, well, why didn't AJ fall? I mean, he stopped for his for the spot that it was, and plus like different body types, different forms of agility and mobility and verticals and box jumps and all these other things. Like yeah. Congratulations to Alba Fire and Dawn, the new women's tag team champions, gives Jade and Bianca something to chase. I don't think they're done yet as a tag team, so I like it.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, right. Brandon, what was next?
Next up, we had the IC title match. Sami Zayn defending against Chad Gable. Otis and Maxine Dupree were in Gable's corner. This one goes 22-15, second longest match of the night, so one longer than the main event. And this match was, there was some good, technical work between the two guys, but obviously a lot of it was going to be build around Otis and what is he going to do. And it was a tad bit drawn out, and they kind of went back and forth and back and forth, and then ultimately it came down to Otis, accidentally uh clipping Maxine, and then Otis didn't attack Chad Gable, so they didn't go full bore with it, but he did turn his back and walk away. And then it distracted Gable. That ended up being the deciding factor for Sami Zayn to get the win and retain.
So the shot of him carrying Maxine away is it's the same shot. Shout out Sam Roberts for bringing this to my attention. It's the same. It's basically the same shot as when Hulk Hogan carried Miss Elizabeth away, and Randy Savage was like, "What are you doing?" You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Oh man, are we getting these kind of callbacks to history like that? Was this intentional? I don't know. I like it. I like it. Nonetheless, Sami Zayn is still the Intercontinental Champion. Great match. That one of those half and half suplexes, my guy Chad Gable landed right on the dome. I was like, ay. Marlee, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's not fun to land right on the top of your head because it happened to me recently.
Man,
But I thought it was good that Sammy retained because again, SummerSlam, we're building up towards that. And I don't think any of the major players are losing their titles. But Chad Gable is a beast in the ring. He's an Olympian. He even had the Olympic symbol on the back of his gear. I don't know if anybody peeped that. But I don't know. I didn't hate it.
I love Perk Gable. Chad Gable. I love him.
I do wish Otis would just like straight up pull the trigger. I'm tired of like these little teases.
What?
Like we get like little by little, but Otis just needs to straight up pull the trigger. I thought it was gonna be a Clash at the Castle. Thought it was gonna happen there.
We'll talk about Monday Night Raw. Chad Gable is re-signed with the WWE. He talked about that on the Gorilla Position podcast. So there you have it. He's still with the company.
And he said it so Phillip will believe that it's real.
Yes, it has to come from the source itself. Come on now, guys. I don't need some random guy who's not even doesn't even work for the company to talk about these contracts. Like, how do you know?
Well, you don't trust PW Insider?
Well,
Wrestle features? No
what
kidding.
did Triple H say? Credible sources.
That part.
Mm,
That part.
that part. Shout out Triple H for talking about the aura and the X Factor on the post show. I appreciate that. I really do. You know,
Wonder who that could be.
all right. Trips and I, we there. We there like that for real, for real. What was next on the card, man? What was next on the card?
We go back to the women's division with Bailey defending her women's title against Piper Niven. Probably the least. Well, I don't know. I felt like the reaction of Piper in Scotland was a little bit underwhelming. Maybe it's just because this match was not really built up much at all. Like, they did some stuff on SmackDown, but this was, I would maybe say, the weakest of the matches, just because the crowd
How
didn't
dare
really
you?
care.
How dare you?
I'm just saying, crowd didn't really care too much.
If they
They
were in
just kind of
Canada, they would care.
No, they wouldn't. Canada sucks. I cannot believe we're going to fucking Canada next month for
Jesus
Money in the
Christ.
Bank. But
Stop
anyways,
that.
but yeah, Chelsea Green gets the boot, and Chelsea Verde comes out to try to help Piper Niven, but
What did you just say?
Chelsea Verde.
It's green in Spanish.
Don't ever say don't ever say that again on this show.
And then Bailey gets the win. Like I said, it was just kind of there. Crowd wasn't really behind because you think, Bailey has the love from the European crowd. Piper from Scotland. Do you think it maybe would have been a fun atmosphere? And it really wasn't. Maybe they were just kind of saving their breath because they were very excited for Otis, and then maybe they knew the main event was up next. They kind of saved their breath for that.
Yeah.
And it was
Well,
Bailey's birthday too. Why would they have her? Well, I mean, not saying why would they have her lose on their birthday because I'm sure wrestlers have lost on their birthday, but
that's like an old school like rule. Like you lose on your birthday, you lose in your hometown. Shout out Bailey. Happy belated birthday to her. Yeah, Power Piper Niven, Piper Powerhouse Niven, whatever we're calling her. I like Power Piper Niven. I like that.
I mean,
PPV baby.
win or lose, Piper showed out. She's been good. I've been eyeing her since the Mae Young Classic,
Right.
so she's, I would say, PPN.
Yeah, and I like how Bailey had to like just the pin didn't look good, like
There's
delicate.
actually
It
there's
looked
actually a story behind that.
it looked ugly, but like it looked like she was using all her might to pin somebody of Piper's size down, which it made it look like I'm really trying to win. I'm really trying to keep my championship, and I like that.
There's actually a story about how Piper was too strong for Bailey to beat her with the rose plant, so she had to try something else.
Yes. Yes. Storytelling in these matches, guys. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Um, don't ever say that Chelsea Verde thing. Don't ever do that again. That I don't know why you did that.
Why? Because you don't
She came
got
out in the
got.
mask.
Yeah, that was a different person. That wasn't Chelsea Green.
Who was that? That was Reclusa, actually.
Yeah, I like how Matt Cardona has found a way to return to WWE. I saw that. I saw that tweet he put out there. Oh God. Oh Jesus. Oh, big. What did Chelsea? Does she call Piper a spicy margarita? Is this like a thing?
That happened.
I was listening to something. I'm like, when did she say this? Like, does Chelsea Green have the one liners and we don't know?
Don't sleep on Chelsea Green.
Do not sleep on Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green. I love how that's part of her theme song now. I think it's great. It really works. Main event time.
Main event time. We got Damian Priest defending that world heavyweight title against the Scottish psychopath, Scottish warrior, whatever the hell his nicknames are these days. Drew McIntyre. Once again, Drew gets a little bit of broken dreams in his intro in his little video package, and I thought it was very well done. They come out with the bagpipes and drums to do the song. Forget what the I didn't even know what the real name of the song was. It's just always that one Scottish song they always play on the bagpipes. And then Drew comes out, big pop for him. Priest comes out, and they go 20 minutes, 20 seconds. Scary, scary spot with Priest trying to do the step up tope and got his leg caught. Luckily, as we saw on Raw, he's fine. It could have been real, real bad. And I thought he
Yeah,
played it off really well. Like I don't know how much he was really hurt after that, or if he was just kind of like mentally shaken up. But I thought Priest like played it up very well for after what happened.
That's called
absolutely.
working and selling and working.
All right. You love to hear it. You love to see it. You didn't know what song they were playing. Were they playing Drew's song or were they just playing a song?
Well, you watch the show, Philip. Why don't you tell us?
I mean, could that have been the Scottish national anthem? Don't quote me.
I'm pretty sure it's not the Scottish
I mean, I
national
said
anthem.
don't. I said that's why I said don't quote me on it.
It's just like the stereotypical song you play on the bagpipes. I don't know what it's called. It's like Scotland the Brave. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, referee, you get a
Yeah.
referee bump. Then Drew hits his finisher, gets a pin, and there just happens to be a wide shot of a random referee, or sorry, a person wearing a referee shirt coming down, and then this person slides into the ring. Camera happens to be at the person's back, and then they go 1-2, stops it, and oh, who would have thought it was CM Punk, and then
But
That's a
Drew.
certified referee right there.
so here, this is, and the internet was like, "Oh, he just happened to be in Scotland with a ref shirt." I love how they posted this clip of Punk watching the truck backstage or whatever, and the ref bumps, and then he looks at Jessica Carr. Hey, do you have an extra shirt? Do you have an extra shirt? Give it
No,
here.
he also asked to take the shirt off of her, which is a little
Well,
weird.
well, he just needed a shirt. Just needed a shirt,
Sorry,
and then
don't think that much into it.
then he gets one. And yeah, I like how they're doing those little things, man. There's an explanation for it.
Okay, that's one explanation for a whole bunch of other contrivances in that spot. Why did they do the wide angle shot of the referee running down the ramp? Why did they film the guy from the back? It doesn't matter that we don't see him. The whole point is that Drew doesn't know who it is. And Punk was also happened to wear a long sleeve black shirt and black pants that are very similar to what the referees wear.
Well, he was wearing that's his. He was like a long sleeve workout gear. Like we've seen. These are things, man. These are things. Punk had probably just
Maybe he
finished up.
just
You know, might have been chilly in Scotland. I don't know.
maybe he just flew to Scotland to be petty. Because I mean,
Yeah, like it's he flew there to be petty. He was gonna cost him the championship one way or another. A ref just happened to get bumped. Like it like
he was
one
waiting.
Yeah, one way or another, CM Punk was going to go out there and cost Drew McIntyre this match. His music was going to hit, but luckily this just happened to happen.
If it
Gotta,
wasn't the ref bump, I would have figured that his music would hit. He wouldn't come down the ramp. He would come from the opposite side of the ring and cost Drew the match just for that distraction.
or maybe
Slide out.
his music would just hit. He wouldn't walk out, and then Drew would lose, and then he'd walk out or something. But anyway, CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre the World Heavyweight Championship.
He also takes him to Dick Kick City. Everyone's talking about the referee spot, and then we completely forget he kicked him in the nuts.
Oh, he did do that. Yes.
Oh yeah, low blows, low blows.
Yep. Yep. Shout out Damian Priest. He is still the World Heavyweight Champion. He kind of looked he did not look thrilled by the way he won, but nonetheless, he is still the champ. He needs one definitive win, and I think that's going to come at Money in the Bank, where nobody interferes. It's just him.
He needs to win clean for once.
Yeah, I think that's coming at Money in the Bank, baby.
Because personally, I think Cody right now is a stronger champion than Damian, but it's all about presentation. It's all about presentation.
That is true. That is true. Because like when back in the day when we had the World Heavyweight and WWE title, it always did feel like the WWE champion was stronger because I mean at the time it was Cena, but then when Batista was running around, they both felt equal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
it's still gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time to. I know we can't sing the Drake and Josh song anymore, but it was still a good
Oh
one.
yeah.
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 But
speaking of Money in the Bank, have we seen the poster for Money in the Bank? Yeet in the Bank with Jey Uso holding the briefcase.
I feel like it's so obvious though.
I don't know. I just rewatched SmackDown from Friday before Clash in the Castle. Between him and Carmelo, if Carmelo qualifies, Carmelo's kind of my pick over Jay.
Did you guys see the Judgment Day segment? Did you guys see like the demon briefcase in the background?
No, actually.
I know Finn lost the qualifying match, but you know how sometimes they do like a second round qualifiers? I don't know.
He's not undefeated as a demon. Never mind. Let me not lie.
But no, but it's just like a little thing like
they've always the way that the Judgment Day has not like utilized Demon Balor in their arsenal kind of just it's not adding up. They should be utilizing.
Yeah, I mean, the last time we saw Demon Balor was against Edge at WrestleMania 39.
Yep. Hey, it's a bitch to get all that paint on.
It is. I mean, he used to do it every night in Japan. That's crazy.
Was it the WrestleMania before?
No, it was 39. He was the because it was like Demon Balor versus like Brood Edge in the Hell in the Cell.
Hold on.
Yeah, something like that.
For
happened.
once, I can back up Phillip that he's correct.
Yeah, I remember because I was outside the building and I heard, "You think you know me?" On this day.
Oh yeah, that was last year. I don't know why I thought it was 38 for some reason. 38 and 39 kind of just blend together.
They do. They do. Those were the times when my tribal chief was at the helm of this industry.
He'll be back.
I know. I can't wait. Nonetheless, that is going to do it for us for the Clash in the Castle recap. What is the grade we are giving this one? It was a different setup than last time. It was in a smaller venue, but it was more condensed, but it was still a very good show. Brandon, what are you giving it?
Surprised they didn't trot out someone to say how much we forced you guys to pay for this, and it's like the highest Scottish gate of all time, but they didn't do that. I'd give it like a B. Like I said, work was fine, finishes were kind of meh, but it was a decent show, and the crowd didn't piss me off like France did. That's positive.
Marlee.
Yeah, I'd give it like a A-B because it wasn't perfect, but it wasn't bad. It was entertaining.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you, kind of the A-B territory. Maybe just B. It was a solid show. We will be back Thursday. That's when you will hear from us again. We were gonna recap Raw and everything else in between. A lot of things have happened. A lot of things are going on outside the ring and inside the ring. Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign are popping up in Japan. It shows that the wrestling is back. And
people died on Raw.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, people straight up died on Raw. That's crazy. Murder.
Yes. The King of the Ring was unconscious at the end of Raw. A lot of things are going on. But thank you guys so much. We will be back on Thursday. Be safe and stay dangerous.